This is not a kid-friendly show.
Yo, what's going on, my dudes? Welcome to another RuneScape news coverage video. So today we're going to be talking about the upcoming Desert Pantheon Aura. Now, this is the aura that you get with the Premier Club. Every year, they come out with a new aura associated with the Premier Club that you get to use the benefits all year. And this year is slightly different. So I'm going to read off this quote here from Mod Saley. It says, this year, instead of creating one aura that worked well with a certain group of players, last year's was clearly benefited PVMers. We wanted to create something a little more versatile so other players got to use from it as well. As such, you're seeing the aura benefits that are currently being released. These will work on a charged basis. Each benefit will have a charge cost. You gain charges by logging in. When you log in, you will get 250 charges to a cap of 500. Once you have charges, you can use them as you like, as often as you like until you're out. So that means you have 500 charges. You can use a certain number of benefits multiple times in one day should you wish to. The option really is up to you and how you feel you'd benefit best from what it has to offer. For example, the cost of Ichlaurin is 125 charges, so can be used up to 4 times if you have enough. Overall, we want you to have control of when the aura works best for you and what works best for you, rather than be tied into time restraints and certain gameplay methods. Well, that's all good and done. But one thing I want to note, okay, this is a charge-based aura. Keep that in mind. It's going to have this own artificial charge system, not like what you're used to with normal auras where they're time locked or any way like that. So keep that in mind going forward, that this is not going to work similar to other auras. It's on its own little thing. Secondly, when you log in, you get 250 charges. This means when you log in every single day, or I'm assuming it's every single day, but that's probably likely the case. Just based on context clues and the way it's worded, it seems like it's going to be 250 every day. It also seems like it would imply that there's ways, as they said, it's to a cap of 500. It seems like they would be able to get more than 250 charges in a day somehow through some other method, but I don't think that's the case. I think the most you can ever get in one day is 250. I think the cap is there so that you can't hoard charges and just use all of them up in one go or in one sitting where it's most beneficial to you, because I think that would be overpowered in some situations. So I think it's just a soft cap or hard cap, however you want to look at it, of only allowing you to really get the full benefits of it every 2 days, as to not get people to go crazy with it. I mean, you see what I'm saying, right, guys? Like, you know what I mean? This system that they've created, it's kind of like forcing you to engage with the aura at the very least every 2 days. Because if you're not, then you're wasting charges. That's kind of the whole deal here. If it was unclear as what that whole thing meant, I just wanted to make that understood by you guys. That's what that whole means. Anytime you're not using it longer than 2 days, you're wasting its potential. That's exactly what I think is the reason why that's in place. Along with the whole, potentially hoarding the charges for massive benefit later. Those 2 reasons. Anyways, with that out of the way, we can get into exactly what the 5 different benefits are. The first one is called the Wisdom of Scabaras. This is just a 10% XP gain from all sources for an hour. Pretty standard. Just an XP buff. It's like an enlightenment aura kind of thing. Not too bad. A lot of people are going to be using this particular perk, I can see. Next up, we got the Bounty of Krondis. This is the increase your divine location gathering limit by 100%. Simply just means that you can get twice as many items from your divine locations every day. Not too bad. Pretty decent, but I still think the first one is a better way to use your charges. If you're wondering how you want to allocate those charges every day, I think the first one's a better choice. Next up, number 3, we got the Joy of Apmekan, and that is set off a 10% pulse score effect for you and those around you. Pretty decent. I mean, essentially a 10% pulse score is the same thing as the first perk, but pulse scores only last for 10 minutes, so I imagine that this will be a much cheaper in terms of your charge costs. I'm not too sure how that pans out in terms of, is it more cost effective to use the first perk or this perk? Not too sure yet, as we don't know the exact charge cost of each perk. Moving on, we got the Ward of Ichlaurin. This will give you the benefit from 2 free Sign of Life effects. to be used in the next hour. First up, it's not entirely clear if this means that you have to use your sign of lives with you in addition to this, or this acts as a sign of life. I think for the sake of having this useful at all, it would have to be its own thing and not require you to bring a sign of life. I can't even imagine too much people using it because you have to waste an aura slot either way. And I think if you're in a situation where you do need a sign of life, you're in a high PVM situation, and more likely you'd much rather have some kind of accuracy boosting aura, or something like vampirism or penance or any of the other combat auras. I can't imagine this being your go-to aura if you want to do combat. This doesn't seem too viable in my personal opinion. What do you guys think? And finally, we got the Strength of Het. This will increase your life points by 20% for an hour, up to 1k HP. Again, I can't imagine this being very great. This only means you're at 10.9k HP at 99, assuming you don't have any other HP buffs. That's not even really that beneficial. The extra 1k HP, like in what scenario would that be more beneficial than something like vampirism where you're always healing? I don't know. Maybe I'm skeptical, but it just doesn't seem very viable. Like, why would you use that over any other combat aura? In any scenario where that 1k HP would be more beneficial or would be used at all, because definitely not going to be using something like Slayer. So it's intended for like high level bosses. Assuming that being the case, in what situation would 1k extra HP be more beneficial than something like a DPS aura, or something like a vampirism, or something like a penance? You see what I'm saying? These last two perks, I can't imagine anybody ever using them. It's not to say if you do use them that there's anything wrong with that. I'm just saying that there are much more viable options, and you shouldn't really waste your charges. This is a charged based aura like we said earlier. I think allocating your charges to something like more XP is far more beneficial than something like these two. But that's just my opinion. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think. Also, the last thing I really want to note is for Ironman. It says here that Ironman get everything, including the loyalty points, cosmetic, and aura. There are some restrictions on the aura benefits, namely, they won't benefit from the 10% XP buff from the pulse core effects, but can still use it to give people around them, and hardcore Ironman won't be able to use the Ithlarian benefit that gives them the 2 free signs of life. Oh, I guess that gives them the 2 free signs of life. That kind of confirms back earlier what I was saying, if you still had to use your own sign of life. I really didn't think you had to be honest. I just wanted to make that the point that the wording seemed like you still had to. But I honestly didn't think you needed to, and this kind of confirms here that you really don't need to. So that's good to know. Good stuff. After doing some editing, I just got this new news that says here, sorry, but there are a couple more restrictions on the aura for Ironman. Sorry for the confusion. It's been under discussion for the last couple days. Ironman do not have access to the Scabaras or at Meccan at all at the moment. We can likely look into making Scabaras available to trigger the effect for nearby non-Ironman though. Hardcore Ironman also have Ithlarian disabled too. We already knew that. But apparently it looks like from what the wording is, I mean, it may be subject to change, but it looks like the only thing Ironman can benefit from the aura is the one where they get the double divine locations and the 2 combat auras, which we've already discussed. The 2 combat ones are really just trash, to be honest. So the only benefit Ironman will get from it, really, unless it's changed, is the divine locations, which is pretty decent. I mean, for an Ironman, that's actually pretty huge, because you get some really good stuff from those divine locations. But that's, if you're an Ironman and you have it, that's exactly what I imagine you almost 9 out of 10 times would be using the aura for. So just wanted to get that out there. Oh, well, overall, semi-decent aura. I mean, Madrigal was probably stronger. I mean, it definitely was. In terms of PVM, but like they said, they wanted to kind of, you know, let you choose the way you wanted to use your aura. You got that. You got several different ways of doing it. Not too bad. What do you guys think? Again, let me know in the comments below what you think of this aura. And that's about it. Anyways, if you enjoyed the video, hit that like button. And if you enjoyed me, hit that subscribe button. I got new RuneScape news videos coming out almost every single day, so you don't want to miss out on them. But yeah, thanks for watching my dudes. I am out. Peace!